I won't stop till I hear him say,
Okay, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video breakdown, we're going to be talking about breaking away from financial instruments and getting out of debt. I posted something on my Twitter page for you all that I want you all to really take into consideration. Nothing that I constitute here before we hop into today's talking points is financial advice. This is just for me, personal experience. I'm going to also be even displaying to you guys something that I just recently experienced in the form of a little bit of an expense on my behalf via one of the cars that I have, just to give you guys kind of a more personalized perspective. I really want you all to take into consideration if some of the things that I'm saying to you in today's video breakdown really hits home, then really take it upon yourself to develop yourself financially, a better state of mind, and in a better situation in the next couple of years to come. So just remember, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing that I'm constituting here is financial advice. This is me just displaying information and showing you all what it is that we're doing here at CYPRX, specifically myself and other market participants in this community as well have done the same. So I'm going to start off by saying, and by the way, too, this is going to be a little bit of a longer video breakdown, but if you do care about your financial stability, then you will watch this video, okay? Take it upon yourself to really be disciplined and actually listen to what it is that I'm saying. Do us a favor, too, as well. Smash that thumbs up button if this video helps you all out. Subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate the love and the support. And share this video. If you fall victim to any of these things that I'm about to mention to you all, then share this video to help wake other individuals up that are out there potentially struggling in today's day and age. So I said to you all, break away from all financial instruments, get out of debt. Everyone is already in virtual bankruptcy. Convert into real assets that have liquidity outside of the banking system. I cannot stress enough. We'll get into that in just 1 second. I said, reduce your expenditures, increase your savings, and lower your taxable income. Excuse me. While building up bartered reserves. Hard times are here and will only get worse. Prepare as time allows. I apologize, by the way, too, if I start hacking or coughing. I'm kind of sick. I'm drinking tea as we speak. So before we get into each talking point here, okay, first specifically talking about converting into real assets that have liquidity outside the banking systems and showing you guys some examples of things that we've done here at CYPRX. What got me into this? Why did I even tweet this out to you all? Well, it was going down the rabbit hole on some fundamentals that have come out this year. The first one being 50% of Americans that earn over $100,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. That is absolutely sad. 110% sad beyond recognition. The next one, we come over here and it says credit card debt in the US hits all-time high of $930 billion. We see another one. How many Americans have student loan debt? Nearly 1 out of 5 adults in the United States carry student loan debt. This is an article that came out January 19, 2023. And last but not least, we have 85% of Americans have car payments, okay? So we will start first on the whole getting out of debt and converting into real assets that have liquidity outside of the banking system. So I cannot stress enough, number one, is if you want to not be a slave to the system, you have to attempt to get yourself out of debt. Again, not financial advice, but I acquired right out of the military. A lot of my old, or people that have been following this YouTube channel for quite some time know that I experienced 5 years in the military. And I acquired a lot of debt in the military. When I got out of the military, I had about $56,000 in debt. And then when I started learning about debt, I made it my number one priority to pay off my debt. I paid off my debt by age 26. I'm now almost 29 years old, so I've been debt-free for almost 3.5 years. And it is the best feeling in the world. Now, it is a struggle in order to do so. You're going to be living below your means. You're going to, it's going to seem like you're not making any progress, but even $50 extra, $100 extra, $25 extra towards your debt, long-term, will make you debt-free faster in the long run. And that is the number one goal. That's why I put that first in this tweet. Okay, you guys can see clearly. First thing I put is get out of debt. All right. The second thing is to convert into real assets that have liquidity outside of the banking system. Now, what are some of these real assets that I'm talking about? Well, real assets, first of all, are tangible physical assets that have value and can generate income, and they often serve as a hedge against inflation. Now, some examples of those are real estate, precious metals, things like collectibles like fine art, agriculture like farmland, natural resources, oil, gas rights, things of that nature. And then for me personally, what I like to invest in is cryptocurrencies. Okay. Just to give you guys an example, I've been mentioning for the longest time on all of the CYPRX platforms that we are experiencing a digital revolution. Okay. We are experiencing a massive revolution, not only in the financial industry, but in commerce industry as well. Okay. And just to give you guys an example, all right, this is something that I messaged the students with back in December. Okay. And if you're not a cryptocurrency investor and you're not too familiar with the cryptocurrency LCX as an example, and I'm just using this as an example to back up my claim to get into assets. Okay. Again, cryptocurrency, while not a physical asset, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, for example, they can be bought and sold on various exchanges, and they can serve as a store of value. And I'm going to show you what it is that I'm talking about. So you guys can see here on a tweet that I posted to you all. This is on the 24th of January, 2023. All right. But this is in our private community. I messaged the students on the 28th of December last year, 2022. And I said, I just bought another $1,000 worth of LCX. And why am I invested in LCX and what it is that I'm talking about to you guys? Okay. First of all, right on their website to back up my claim. Okay. And again, do your own personal research on the cryptocurrency LCX. There's many other utility gems out there. LCX is one of my favorite. It literally says on their website, by 2027, more than $8 trillion will be stored on blockchain networks. Right in your face. There's even massive articles and breaking news stories coming out like this. This came out February 8th, 2023. LCX to issue blockchain-powered Eurobond. LCX says it will become the first company in the crypto industry, to issue a tokenized bond that generates fixed yields for investors. Now, heading back over to the charts, remember I told you guys this little tiny display right here that I messaged the students on the 28th of December, 2022. All right, why am I telling you guys to take it upon yourself to do research on crypto utility-driven assets and this whole digital revolution that people are freaking sleeping on? They are literally asleep to it. People are not paying attention to it. They're too focused on their Netflixes and their freaking gym memberships and their coffees and this and that. They don't have any money to put into to real assets. Okay, they don't have any money to put into assets that are liquid outside of the banking system. For me specifically, I like to invest in cryptocurrency. I'm a high-risk investor. So again, if you have more of a high-risk appetite, then cryptocurrencies could potentially float your boat. Not financial advice. Again, you need to take it upon yourself to do research on what crypto assets you're going to be investing in. But look down here at the bottom of the charts. Okay, let me show you guys what it is and why it is that I invest in crypto. Okay, I told the community $1,000 I was putting into LCX on December 28th. Look down here. Okay, this has nothing to do with the technical analysis that we teach here at CYPRX, which is why we were able to catch this trade. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but $1,000 invested into LCX. If any of the students had to listen to me, remember, we charge underneath of $600 for our mentorship program, okay, which is very undervalued at the end of the day. Had any of our students listened to us, which some of them did, I'm not going to get into detail on how many of them did or who did, but $1,000 invested into LCX as of January 25th, 2023 would have been worth $5,380. Okay. That is a 438% gain on your initial $1,000 investment. Again, breaking away from the financial system. Okay. Get out of this reality that you have to work more hours to generate more money. Okay. That is not the reality that we live in. Do your research on how to expand your financial stability. I cannot stress enough how important that is, okay? After that, we have reduce your expenditures, okay? So going back to the tweet, we covered convert into real assets. Specifically, I invest in high-risk assets like crypto, gold, silver, things of that nature, and I also have a real estate portfolio. But I tweeted out to you all, how big would your investment portfolio be if all the money you spent on entertainment subscriptions, going out to eat, gym memberships, clothes, Hallmark holiday gifts? This is a big one because what did we just experience? Valentine's Day. How many of you all went out and bought chocolates or freaking shirts or freaking roses and crap, blah, 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 blah. for Valentine's Day. Miscellaneous purchases. How big would your investment portfolio be? Whether it's crypto, silver, gold, whatever floats your boat, okay? Would your investment portfolio be if it went into investing and building your wealth? Sit down, create a spreadsheet, and calculate how much money per month you spend on all of these things. And think about yourself a year from now, if you took all of the money that you spend on these things per month and put that into an investment portfolio every single month for an entire year, how big your portfolio would be. If that interests you, again, take it upon yourself, be disciplined, and do it. I cannot stress enough. There are so many people out there that have gym memberships that don't even go to the gym. Go to the mall, which is a retail herd trap, literally, for you to go and spend your hard-earned money, to just funnel it back into the system on clothes, shoes that you don't even realistically need, materialistic things that don't have anything of value long-term, right? Any intrinsic value long-term, and won't appreciate in value. One of the biggest things that I learned as an early investor, I remember I started my investment career in, let's say, I don't remember what year it was. I was 21 years old when I started first investing into Bitcoin, okay? I started to realize to only buy things that will increase in value over time. And that literally revolutionized my life. Once I realized clothes and Hallmark holidays and going out to eat didn't do anything over time, didn't increase in value, I stopped doing it, right? Then we have increase your savings. So going back to the tweet, we talked about reducing your expenditures, now we're going to talk about increasing your savings. A very, very sad statistic. And this is where I'm going to get into a personal experience that I just had. Okay. This article came out January 25th, 2023. Faced with a $1,000 emergency expense, most Americans say they wouldn't have the money. I'm going to give you guys a personal experience. I have two cars. I have a BMW and I have a Ford F-150 truck. And my BMW just so happened the other day, it's not an old BMW. It's a nice, decent BMW, but I did buy it used. And it wouldn't start the other day, and I took it to the shop, and come to find out, the starter had an issue with it, so I had to buy a new starter for it. Now this expense totaled me at $425. Here's my receipt, so you guys don't think that I'm making that up. I actually physically show you guys what it is that I'm talking about. I want you guys to ask yourself the question: if you had an emergency expense like this, $425 pop up out of nowhere, come up, would you be able to comfortably pay for it? Okay, if you don't fall into this category, then kudos to you. You've most likely started developing your way out of the system. But most Americans, most individuals around the world would not have the money. I took it upon myself to be grateful for a second and say, I'm so thankful that I've generated multiple businesses that have been successful over the years, where I have enough money, not only in my savings account, but also in my investment portfolios, to withdraw $425 and pay this expense without feeling burdened that I just had to pay it. It's an absolute phenomenal blessing. And if you cannot do that, take it upon yourself to start to get to that point in your financial stability where you can. Okay. After that, so we talked about converting into real assets that have liquidity outside the banking system. We talked about reducing your expenditures. We talked about increasing your savings. Okay. Last but not least, because we're not going to get into building up barter reserves, we're going to talk about lowering your taxable income. Now, just as an example, okay, one of my businesses last year, what do I mean by this? Okay. So lowering your taxable income. People will be like, well, what do you mean, Cypress? What does that even mean? Well, there are several methods that you can use to lower your taxable income. Just to name two off the top of my head that I personally utilize is contributing to a retirement account like a Roth IRA or traditional IRA, which I'll get into a platform that I use that I don't really talk about here on this space, because I don't like affiliating myself with any company just in case something happens. I also have written down maximize your business expenses, and I'm going to give you guys a personal example. So one of my businesses last year generated over $90,000 in revenue, and overall, my business expenses for that specific company was roughly around $46,000 in the form of paper, ink that I needed to print stuff. I bought a computer for that company, for that business, mileage on my truck in order to go meet with clients for that business. all of that stuff, I have a spreadsheet where I record all of my business expenses. And if you didn't know this, if you're self-employed or you own a small business, you may potentially be able to deduct certain business related expenses, things like office supplies, like I mentioned, equipment, travel expenses, which all can lower your taxable income. So that's just to give you guys personal, experience. And then to go back to the contribution to a retirement account. Personally, I use Capital. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go sign up with them. I know that there's other influencers out there that are affiliated with them and whatnot. I personally am not affiliated with them, and I'm not going to make any money if you go sign up with them. You guys can take it upon yourself to do your own research on Capital. Excuse me. But they are a crypto IRA. Okay. So it says right here on their website, invest in crypto, gold, and silver using your IRA. Now, why am I telling you guys to take it upon yourself to do research on Capital? Again, because of this digital revolution that we are currently experiencing and the massive amount of potential that utility-driven assets that they specifically offer on their platform have in the form of increasing in value over time. So take into consideration some of the things that I've shown you, okay? And I know I specifically even talked about LCX, the token and whatnot. This is just to give you an example of something that we've done as an investment here at CYPRX, one of the many things that we've broadcasted to the general public that we are doing. Really take into consideration the things that I'm saying to you all in this tweet. Get out of debt, okay? Convert into real assets that have liquidity outside the banking system, regardless if you choose real estate, cryptocurrency, physical assets like gold, silver, maybe even potentially fine art. I know that there's some platforms out there that you can take it upon yourself to go and invest small amounts of money into fine art that could appreciate over time. There's so many avenues of approach that you can take to increase your wealth. Okay. We talked about reducing your expenditures. Really think about it. Go sit down with your loved one, or maybe it's just you yourself because you're a single individual, and think about how much money you spend on just things that do not appreciate in value over time, like coffee, food, clothes, maybe even furniture, right? Subscriptions, gym memberships. I mean, it's literally insane the amount of money that people spend and they don't even realize that they have no intrinsic value. And then we talked about increasing your savings. I showed you guys a statistic that most individuals out there, wouldn't even have the money to afford $1,000 emergency expense. I even showed you guys a personal example of an emergency expense that I just recently experienced and was completely comfortable paying that off. Okay. And then we talked about lowering your taxable income. Now, all of these things that I've listed in this tweet, you need to take it upon yourself to go do your own research. But I cannot stress enough for your own financial stability how important it is for you to really take into consideration some of the things that we talked about in this video breakdown. So blessings to you guys. If you enjoyed this video, if it gave you a little bit of an eye opener to maybe some routes or avenues of approach that you can take, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe. We do appreciate the love and the support. Share this video, wake other individuals up. Let's start to break free as a community here on the CYPRX platforms from these statistics. If I could get all of the people that follow my platforms here in CYPRX to start to break free from these statistics, I can say that as an influencer, I helped out a community of individuals that are awake and aware to the herd and avoiding that mentality. All right. So blessings as always. I will see you all in the next video breakdown. I do apologize that I'm literally like hacking at a lung right now. Be cognizant, be aware, and I'll see you guys next time.
I won't stop till I hear him say